Hello everyone, it's Psycho Juggernaut again with another deck tech. If you watched my last video, that was my first one with Rick Smithy's Slumbering Isle. This deck tech is going to be about slivers, and the commander for this one is the first sliver. I want to talk a little bit about this deck box because it's one of my more kind of fine-tuned, kind of more expensive decks. I wanted to get something more personalized, so I looked around custom deck boxes and stuff like that. I ended up finding this gentleman on Instagram and Etsy. Their name is Tabletop Lux. Please go give them a try, or go give them a look. Basically, check out their Instagram and their Etsy. They make really good. He makes really good deck boxes. So what this deck box came with was the choice of color for the deck box. You can do multicolors. I just decided to do this just in case I decided to change up my deck box or my deck in here to something else. Also the symbol on the top, I just decided to go with this one for Magic. It's not tuned to any certain color identity or certain theme yet. He can do that for you. Just talk to him. Is very communicative and helpful for finding out what you want. And it's held together with really strong magnets. Kind of snapshot there. And what it comes with is this this shell, or the protective. It's the box itself. Comes with this and a spin down counter. I don't have that here right now, and a few dice you just tossed in there, so it's really cool. I like this because I can kind of just keep the commander in this on the table. If I need to take it out, I can. The sleeves are by formerly known as AI Armor. They now go by Realm Guard. Really good sleeves. Let me show you the sleeves on this. I love their products. This is one of their graphene sleeves. It's kind of textured on the back, scratch resistant, really good shuffle. Look at that artwork. Look how amazing that is. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go over first sliver, and we'll see how mean this deck can get. A lot of people don't like slivers. Hence is why I made this deck, to annoy somebody, because he just got on my nerves. And as you may have heard in that last video, it's pretty annoying to be attacked for no reason, and my commander wasn't even a creature yet. So let me set these off to the side. Sorry, it wasn't quite ready. These are just a bunch of tokens, the copy tokens, because there's some things in there. The Monarch, Sliver tokens if I need those. And again, just more tokens in the back. All right. I did pre-sort this deck though. So we're gonna go over that. And let's see. We're gonna go over some lands first. I don't have many basics in here because it is a 5-color deck. It is very hard to kind of get the colors you need if you just have single colored basics in here. So I do have a plains, island, swamp, or 2 swamps, mountain, forest. And onto the non-basic lands. Actually, let me see. Just want to make sure I have all the lands. Yeah, we'll get into those next. All right, so we got the exotic orchard. Helps me with color fixing. A lot of the non-basic lands in here will be for color fixing and being able to get out the first sliver and some other 5-colored slivers I have in here. Just tap, add mana of any color that the land an opponent controls could produce. So as long as it's a color that I don't have on my board yet and somebody else does, I can kind of, like, quote unquote, steal that. I got some of the triomes in here. They do come into play tapped, or I can cycle them if I really need to late game. Crystal Grotto, 1 mana, any color. Path of Ancestry, Mr. Rainforest. I got some fetch lands in here, kind of, if I'm missing one of the 2 colors, helps me go find it. Jungle Shrine, Frontier, another, this is a New Capenna Triomes, Command Tower, as usual, Ancient Surrogate, Ziggurat, I think I mispronounced that. Anyways, Evolving Wilds, Stomping Ground, Unclaimed Territory, Tangled Islet, Marsh Flats, Ravaged Highlands. This will tap for red or any color if I need it in a pinch. So I like tossing that one in there just to get it. If I really need it, I'm struggling for it, and I happen to have that on the field. Scalding Tarn, Xander Lounge, Sparta's Headquarters, Savage Lands, Sliver Hive. It's really good. You pay 1 colorless for anything, or 1 color as long as I'm spending it on a Sliver spell. And then the last one, 5 tap, put a 1/1 colorless creature. So it's like, if this is on there, I have enough and I don't have any slivers to play in my hand, or don't need to quite yet, then it's good to just kind of start popping out slivers, go wide if I need to. There's another Triome. Oh, I'm all over the place with this video. Anyways, first Sliver has its Wooburg, 7/7 Cascade. Sliver spells you cast have Cascade. As you can see there, it's as you play this, you reveal cards at the top of your library to reveal 4 CMC or less, or mana value nowadays. So if you have, another way this works really well is if you have the first Sliver on the field, like as you play him, you get the Cascade effect. If you run into another Sliver or anything else in there, you can play that without paying its mana cost. But as you have him on the field, once you cast a Sliver, that'll have Cascade. If you hit another Sliver, that'll have Cascade again. And sometimes it just trickles from 5, or if I have something bigger with Slivers. I think I took the bigger one out of this one. Anyways, Cascade is very powerful because I can just go from 1 Sliver on the field to playing 1 more to having 6, 7, 8, depending on how I hit the Cascade or how I'm able to pay. All right, next segment is going to be instants. Got a few of these. Vampiric Tutor, definitely a great card to have just to go search for a combo piece that I need, or a Sliver that I'm missing. I do have this Sliver that gives all Slivers indestructible. So if I haven't drawn him yet, or he's not on the field, really good to go do that. And I put it on top, especially if it's a card that will cost less. I will play a Sliver card or spell, and it'll cascade into the card I use Vampiric Tutor on. So it'll just cascade. I don't even have to pay for it. D-Spark, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. This really helps for big guys on the field. Just get rid of them. Footbottom Feast, put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library. Draw a card. If I'm not mistaken, you're able to put any number in any order. So you can stack the top of your library, or I can stack the top of my library to be able to cascade. If I'm ready to play like mid to late game with this, I can just set up an instant board state with this. And if I happen to get board wipe, I can play this, stack my Slivers how I want on top of my library, play a Sliver card, cascade everything out. Really like that card. Unsummon. Return target creature to its owner's hand. I kind of use this 50-50, either on myself or on my opponents. Kind of just save my stuff or get other opponent stuff just out of the way. All right. Next segment is going to be enchantments. And then let me get this sorted just a little bit better. All right, move those up there. All right, bear with me just a few more seconds. And I appreciate everybody that has come through and liked and kind of viewed my video. Hopefully it helps somebody with the gameplay of how I like to play. Maybe that just helps other people create their own Sliver deck, their own sea creature deck or whatever. Just maybe my play style will help other people kind of find theirs. Or if they already have one, maybe it changes theirs up a little bit. Okay, so enchantments. You have Kaya's Ghost Form. Enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When enchanted permanent dies, put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So this is a good kind of last minute save my guy type thing. It's just, I mean, I know it doesn't have flash, but it's, if I know something's coming and it's unavoidable, if I can enchant my creature or just have it on there ready for a board wipe, or some targeted removal, it kind of just, it'll pop away, come back. So anyways, all right. I really like the cascade mechanic. So to have the first Sliver on the field and then to play Maelstrom Nexus for Wooburg, there's a lot of different ways I can get the exact colors that I need. So the first spell I play each turn has Cascade regardless if it's a Sliver spell or not. If it is, I will get double Cascade from the first Sliver in this. So I will Cascade once, Cascade again, and just everything kind of comes out to play. Rally the ranks. Choose a creature type. They get +1/+1. Kind of beef up my Slivers here. Kindred Discovery. Choose a creature type when it enters. When a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. So this is a really good enters the battlefield, draw a card, and if I'm ready to go with my attackers, more card draw on that. So really helps me get to what I need. Reflections of Litjara, I believe that's how you say it. You choose a creature type as it comes in. When you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. So, as long as it's not legendary, unless I have other cards in here, which some of them I do, that the legend rule does not apply, this will start copying all the non-legendary Slivers that I play. So ones that beef up other Slivers, ones that give them flying, ones that give them haste. Well, Menace doesn't stack, but other stuff that I'll have multiple creatures as long as it's a Sliver spell. And then if I do have the legend rule does not apply card, then I can start copying the first Sliver and other hard to deal with Slivers. All right, next section here, sorcery. I got Unearth. Return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This really helps get some of the mana dorks and other smaller Slivers right back out to the battlefield. Really helps get them back on, get the engine back on board, and yeah. Grim Tutor, another great tutor card. This one goes, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library, lose 3 life. So when I really need something quick and I need it in my hand instead of my top of my library, for 1 black and 3 life, seems like it's pretty simple to me just to use that, go find what I need for puzzle pieces. Blasphemous Act. A lot of people know this one. It costs 1 less for each creature card on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. There is a sliver I have in here that says when it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. I believe that's what it says. But I'll set this one aside. This one is a good combo piece, especially if my slivers are indestructible. And playing this one it's a good piece. Wargate. Search your library for a permanent card with converted mana cost 5 or X or less. Put it into play and then shuffle your library. So this is a great tutor for a permanent. I don't think I have anything in here that's more than 6, maybe 5 or 6 permanent wise. So let's just say if it's 5, if I'm doing the search one of my other slivers, it's 5 green, white, blue. So 5, 6, 7, 8. It's very simple to kind of once mid game or so, if I need to get a permanent card, most likely it's going to be a creature. Or I can even get the Maelstrom Nexus out for the 8. But yeah, this is a really good one. It's from, I know it's the Alara block. I believe that's Alara Reborn is where I got this one. Yeah, Alara Reborn. Not a lot of people that, at least that I know about this card, and I'm really glad I opened this back in the day. It's one of my favorite sets. All right, Farseek, mana fixing. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. Some of those triomes have the land type on them, so I can go search them with the Farseek and have multicolors. Crippling Fear for 2 black. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't that chosen creature type, get -3/-3 until end of turn. Is a really good. It's like, I wouldn't call it a board wipe, but if I'm playing another opponent, or just anybody that has mana dorks, or 1/1 tokens, 2/2 tokens, or maybe 3/3 tokens that don't count as slivers, this is a good kind of like, I don't know, some people maybe say pseudo board wipe. I don't know. I wouldn't consider it a board wipe because it doesn't get rid of everything, but for 2 black and you get -3/-3, I'm always going to be picking slivers with this. So it's like, if it's not a sliver, if it's 3 toughness, it's gone. So it's a nice little card to have. Nature's Lore. Go find a forest card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. I like this one because it doesn't come into play tapped. So, unless the land says tapped itself. Vanquish the Horde. 6 white. I'm never paying that much. Never. Unless it's a really crazy creature that the rest of the board is gone and it's 5 white or anything. But it's always going to cost 1 less for each creature on the battlefield to destroy all creatures. So if I have my indestructible sliver, all right, goodbye opponents. Damnation. Destroy all creatures. They can't be generated. That's another good board wipe. I took a lot more. I had too many before I made this kind of final deck tech. I had way too many board wipes. I was going crazy. It was just nuke after bomb, and just, no, it was too much. And I couldn't survive it. Even with my indestructible slivers, it was too late in the game. Couldn't find my indestructible sliver. And yeah, so cultivate. Three visits. More ways to find land, get out what I need. So more mana fixing. On to the artifacts. I got Vanquisher Banner, Choose your creature type. The chosen creature type gets +1/+1. And whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. This really helps me refill my hand when I'm also cascading into things, but it's like, I don't know, kind of keeping my hand kind of full. Mox Amber, really happy I pulled this one from Brothers War. I didn't know kind of what I had at the time when I pulled it. I knew it was a mythic. I knew it was pretty good, but I didn't know kind of like the versatility, I guess you would say, of this card. Really fun. It's 0, tap, add 1 mana of any color creature. It's like, it's really easy to put in this deck. Arcane Signet, everybody knows that. Decanter of Endless Water. This helps me if I'm going crazy on the card draw. It'll give me no maximum hand size. Plus, I mean, for 3, it's a bit more than 1 or 2 for some other mana rocks, but 3, not too bad. I still kind of find it good enough to have in there. Gives me no maximum hand size, and I can still tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Timeless Lotus. I love this card. I know it enters the battlefield tap, but for 5 of any to come into play tap, I can wait and tap it for Wooburg. I don't mind. A lot of people hate that because they have to wait a full turn cycle, and I'm just like, I need the 5. I can wait. I can wait three other players' turns or less. I can wait for it. Pillar of Origins. Choose your creature type. Tap it for any color. Only the cast this spell. Spend this mana only the cast creature spells of the chosen type. So choosing Slivers as always. Anytime it says choose a creature type, I don't think I've ever chosen a creature type other than Sliver, unless I'm just messing around. But most of the time, this is a more competitive deck. Herald Torn, choose a creature type, and when it enters and it costs 1 less, costs Slivers. So I know it does not reduce the like Wooburg, like the colored pips, but say the first Sliver was destroyed and I got mana tax, it's instead of 2, it's 1. So it'll be Wooburg and 1 instead of Wooburg and 2. That really helps that. And any of the other Slivers that I have in there, it'll minus 1, or to have, not minus, it'll cost 1 less to cast. So makes them a little easier to cast. I don't have to use up all my mana. Cold Steel Heart also comes in play tap, but I can choose any color, and this will tap for it. So if I'm stuck and I have more than 1 color, I know this enters tapped as well, but you know, waiting a turn cycle to be able to tap for whatever color I need, then or what other color I choose. Chromatic Lantern, I need this one in here because those times that I get everything but 1, or if I need 2 green or multiple colors, it really helps to have all my lands be any color that I need. Sensei's Divining Top, this helps me set up for the Cascade stuff. Really, really helpful. Really, really good card. Coat of Arms. I got this one in 10th edition. I know this isn't 10th edition, but I wanted to have this, the one from the Sliver deck. I forget what year it came out in, but it's it was all foil Slivers. I missed out on that, but I just wanted to make a change on this one. And the 10th edition Coat of Arms I have is in another deck. I don't think it's in my Goblin deck. Anyways, it's in another deck. So each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield that shares the creature type. So say I have 5 Slivers. All the Slivers get +4/+4. I think if that's the way, yeah. For each other. I think that's the way I've understood it for many years. I think I was corrected because I was counting, if I had 5, I was counting all 5 to get +5/+5. It's not, it's each other one. So have that 5 and that 1 gets the +4 +4, and then this one gets the other +4. So yeah, it makes sense, but it took me a long time. Just the wording on it, I kept kind of tricking myself out, and I was playing it wrong for a while, so that was a misplay for a while, but this is really good in here since it's a Sliver tribal. Door to Destinies. Choose a creature type, Slivers. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on this, and creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter. So this gets carried away with Slivers. I play that, and Cascade is counted as casting, so it adds another charge counter. So as I play more, whether they're like played with or casted without paying their mana cost, it still puts a charge counter on this. So it helps Slivers get really carried away, and that's another reason people hate Slivers, because the synergy and how quickly they get carried away. The swarm comes in, if you'd like to say that. Urza's Incubator. For 3, choose a creature type, and creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less. It's amazing cost reducer for 2 and a very heavy tribal deck. Mirror Box. There you go. The legend rule does not apply to permanents you control. Each legendary creature gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. So this will get out of hand with the copying one. It's good if I don't have the copy one out, because it says legendary creatures get +1/+1. So that beefs the first Sliver here up to, it's a 7/7, it beefs them up to 8/8. It's kind of like, I'd say once it gets past a 5/5 or a 6/6, it's a little harder to deal with, as opposed, or when it comes to attacking and blockers. Not necessarily, it's not harder to get rid of. I've seen my deck kind of go through removal after removal, but anyways, beefing them up makes them a little bit more scarier, whether or not I attack with them or not. But yeah, Sol Ring. I really like the artwork on this one. I did not get I think it was the Commander's collection, and this one was the Swamp version of it, and there was, I want to say 5 or 6 cards in there. And this one was kind of like a swamp themed artwork. Let's see if I can get to focus there. Let me see. Oh, switch cameras. Let me go back. Refocus. There we go. Anyways, I really like that. I think it kind of fit the theme, just of being scary, kind of feels scary. Those were the artifacts. And now it gets into the creatures, and in no particular order. The Ornithopter of Paradise, great for mana fixing and also just having a flyer up the jump block if needed, but really good to just have mana fixing. Morphon the Boundless, this is a Judge promo that I got. I did originally purchase the regular artwork, I think for Modern Horizons 1 or 2. One of the Modern Horizons, Morphon the Boundless came out, and I like that artwork, but after I sat on it and thought for a bit, I really wanted this Judge promo. Just, it looked Sliver-ish. It looks more like a monster than the jelly looking artwork of Morphon. But yeah, anyway, so this is 7 for 6/6. Changeling as Morphon the Boundless enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen creature type cost Wooburg less to cast. This effect reduces only the colored amount you pay. So if for some reason I don't have the first Sliver out and I play Morphon, it then makes the first Sliver free as long as I haven't cast him yet, or any of the other 5 colored slivers that I have. And other creatures you control, the chosen type +1/+1. That's a nice bonus. Homing Sliver. This has Sliver cycling. So each Sliver card in the player's hand. So if I have one sticking around in my hand that I just feel like I don't need, or it's not as effective as other ones, I can basically cycle it for 3 and go find one. Go find a designated Sliver in my deck, which also I can go find Morphon, because he is technically a Sliver because he has Changeling. So if I have, let's see, who's the next one? Yeah, Blur Sliver. Slivers you control have haste. I have another card in here that gives Slivers haste and flying. So say Blur Sliver is sitting in my hand, I can pay the 3 rather than pay the 3 to cast him and go find Morphon or any other Sliver creature as long as he's on the field. So that's a really good kind of, I guess, like Sliver tutor. But yeah, Blur Sliver comes in, gives creatures you control have haste, or Sliver creatures you control have haste. Heart Sliver also gives them haste, a bit cheaper, but it's weaker too. It's a 1/1 as opposed to the 2/2. Shifting Slivers. Slivers can't be blocked except by Slivers. So if I got him out, as long as I'm not playing another player with Slivers or something that has Changeling, or like makes it anything that makes their creatures a Sliver, no one's blocking my Slivers. So I'll go all in on some player because they're not blocking, because they can't. Sinew Sliver. All Slivers get +1/+1. So as he comes in, paying 1 in white if I don't have any of the cost reducers. This is a nice foil one too. It beefs him up to make him a 2/2. Regardless if I have the cost reducers or not. Cloud Shredder Sliver. Slivers you control have haste and flying. This is really nasty because there are sometimes I'll make sure I have the red-white open to cast him, and I'll have other Slivers out, and at least what I'm thinking my opponents kind of go through is, oh, he can't attack with those. Like he just cast them. They got summoning sickness. If I have the red-white ready, I'm casting Cloud Shredder, and they'd all now have flying, which is evasive, and haste. So they have no flyers. I got a whole group of Slivers coming at you. Siphon Sliver. It's a 2 in black. Creatures you control have life, or Sliver creatures you control have lifelink. Really helps attacking with some of the big guys, even if they get jump block. It'll have their have lifelink on them. Kind of give me some more life, and I don't have to be scared as much. Anyways, Gem Hide Sliver is great. All Slivers have tap, add 1 mana any color. If I am playing, I do have another gentleman in my play group. He does have Slivers. I don't know how his deck is kind of excuse me, is tuned out, but if I have him on the field, then this also gives his Slivers add 1 mana any color. So sorry, let me get a sip of water here. Yeah, so anyways, if I have him out, when it says all Slivers, if someone has a Changeling or if they're playing slivers as well, it'll give theirs, turn their slivers into mana rocks, basically. So I don't mind that because I don't think I have many all sliver, like the quote unquote all slivers have this. I do have this one and maybe I think 2 others, but this is mostly slivers I control type deck. There are a few that will say all, but Bloom Tender, 1 and a green, tap for each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. So this helps with the mana fixing. I'm really happy that I got this one in Double Masters 2022. Sliver Legion. Love this artwork. It's Wooburg. All slivers creatures get +1/+1 for each other sliver on the battlefield. So this is a coat of arms, basically, on Sliver Legion. That'll double up with coat of arms if I have it on the field. Realm Walker, Shapeshifter, Changeling. As it comes into the battlefield, choose a creature type. Slivers. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells of the chosen type off your library. I really like the way this works because I can look, and if it's a card that's going to work, if I have a card in my hand that I want to play a sliver card, let's just, for example, if I go to play Sliver Legion and it cascades and say I have Blue Tender on the top of my deck, I can look and double check and say, hey, like if it's Bloom Tender, great, I'm going to play this Sliver Legion and it's going to cascade into this Bloom Tender or whatever card it may be. It's great with the cascade and setting that up. If it's a card saying cast and draw a card, if I don't want to cascade into it, I can do that. Or if it's a creature spell and I don't have any other slivers in my deck, if I cast a creature card from the top of my deck, as I cast it, if it's the sliver creature card, I will then cascade so a card underneath that. So it's really good to, I don't know, I enjoy having that one. It's a good kind of combo-ish or kind of ability. Opaline Sliver. It's a 1 white-blue, 2/2. All slivers have whenever this creature becomes a target of spell or opponent controls, you may draw a card. So this isn't, this isn't the Shroud. No, it's another one. Okay. I always confuse at least that one because I think it's the same color identity, but all slivers, this isn't all slivers one. Whenever the creature becomes a target of a spell or ability or spell an opponent controls, draw a card. So say someone tries to Sword to Plowshares or anything that basically targets a sliver. Say it targets this one, targets a bigger one, I will then draw a card. So becomes a target, I get a reward. Lancer Sliver, 2 and a white. Sliver creatures you control have first strike. This really helps with the bigger guys. And sometimes the smaller ones if I need to like use multiple slivers to block. Hibernation Sliver. All slivers have pay 2 life, return this permanent to its owner's hand. So if I have enough life, I'll return all my slivers that I have on the field. But if not, it just this card really lets me choose slivers I have on my battlefield and be like, you know what, hey, it's worth 2 life not to lose him to the graveyard, return him to my hand. Or if I need another cascade effect or feel like I need to trigger something, I can pay 2 life, return target permanent to its owner's hand. It could even be this one, but I can return it, pop it down, cascade again, or return one of my bigger slivers, like the first sliver or other Wooburg ones. Constricting Sliver, this comes into the, sorry, all tied up on my words. I'm just a little too excited, I guess. The cost is high. It's 5 in a white, but with cost reducers, it's going to make it a lot more simpler. Even if I have to pay 5 in a white, Sliver creatures you control have when this creature enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. So if I don't like something, a creature, then it's just like this comes in, basically exiles that card until that card's gone, or until the card that basically constricted it is gone. Then it frees up that creature. Striking slivers. Slivers you control have first strike. It's another first strike instance in there, which is great. Gale Rider Sliver, really good one. It's cheap, and it gives your slivers flying. It is 1/1, but put it out there. Give the rest of your bigger slivers flying, and it's a bit more evasive. And flying to me is a little scary, especially if the opponent, or it's scary to me if all my creatures, or all my opponent's creatures, have flying and they're coming at me and I don't have any flyers. That's scary. Or if I have the Gale Rider Sliver, this will then give me the flying blockers if my opponent is playing like Angels, Dragon, just a flying mechanic in their deck. Basil Sliver, 2 in a black. All slivers have sacrifice this creature, add black to the mana pool. It's really good if I'm needing for like Vampiric Tutor, or if I just need that fixing. It's good to just have this guy available, even if it's just himself, just to sacrifice it. Give me 2 black to play another card, maybe something bigger if I need that 1 extra mana. Shadow Sliver, 2 in a blue. All slivers have shadow. They can't be blocked, or they can't block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. So basically, like, I want to say it works like Fear. No, Fear I think is just black creatures. Anyway, shadow, they can block, or yeah, I think I'm reading that right. Yeah, all slivers have shadow. They can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. So I guess it's kind of good and bad with this, because it makes my guys unblockable, unless for some reason someone's playing something with shadow, my slivers will get through. So this isn't a main one that I like to play, because of they can block or be blocked only with creatures with shadow. So it kind of helps my opponents in a way. I really like the artwork for this one. I don't think it's it's not a Drudge promo. Obviously it's from M14, but it's a promo art. And I kind of think, I know I don't really like personally I don't like the humanoid looking slivers. I like them kind of, their original kind of, I don't know, alien looking, just kind of Slither-y. But then they did come out with, I think, M14 and maybe another set. I know M14 for sure. A lot of them were more humanoid, so they looked more like the Predator, in my opinion. So I really like this artwork. Bone Scythe Slither. And I love having this one because it gives slivers I control have double strike. So as you can see, it says it deals both first strike and regular combat damage. So if there's no blockers, I'm getting that double strike. If I have all the rest of them that beef up the other slivers, then it's like I'm gonna get that first strike damage in, which is like, can be anything higher than 2 or 2 or higher. Just kind of get in there with that first strike damage. Especially, I don't know if I have one in here that, I think I do. It gives slivers death touch. I I don't know, have a few more left to go, but I think that I do. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, I'll keep going with this. But yeah, Sliver creatures you control have double strike. It's really, really helpful. And like I keep saying, I love the artwork. Sliver Overlord. This helps a lot. I know it's going to make me a target at the table. I know people are going to hate me. But putting him out and being able to pay 3, search your library for a Sliver card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. As long as I have the mana, I can go tutor up what I need. I know I'm revealing it to my opponents, but 3 to get any, like, I'm still going through the creatures. Like, I just go and get this Sliver that I need. Go get Morphon. Go get another, like, Sliver Lord. Diffusion Sliver. I believe this is before it possibly got errated back to Ward, basically. But yeah, Sliver creatures you control becomes, or whenever a Sliver creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller plays 2. So basically, it's Ward 2. It's like you can try to target my Slivers, but unless you're playing 2, it's getting countered. Spiteful Sliver. This is the, yeah. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player or planeswalker. So going back to the Blasphemous Act, if I have the indestructible on these, like on the Slivers, this is really great. To just 13 damage to each creature, and then all my Slivers will have whenever this creature gets dealt damage. So I can easily just combo with these 2. Or even if it's just enough to kill my opponents, I'll board wipe myself with Blasphemous Act if I have enough Slivers to get my opponents. It's 13 damage. Sliver Hive Lord. Wooburg, 5/5. Sliver creatures you have or control have indestructible. Another target on my back for sure. Just to have this, it's a really mean deck. A really mean deck. Another, I wouldn't say mean, but having Sentinel Sliver and having flying in haste, then I'm attacking and having blockers up each turn. Slivers you control have vigilance. Won't cause any of my guys to tap when they're attacking. Say less. Clone. Basically what it says. You have clone enter the battlefield as a copy of creature on the battlefield. I don't mind copying even the vigilance one, because if I have to chump block with one of them, still gives vigilance to everybody else. But I more than likely will use this on another non-legendary Sliver, unless I have that mirror box out, and it'll help with the legend rule. So this is really good, the double up. Also, if I don't have the legend rule apply as well, copying this with Morphon then reduces everything by Wooburg twice. Yeah, nasty, I'm telling you. Lava Belly Sliver. Slivers you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and you gain 1 life. So even cloning him with clone or the Reflections of Lajara, I believe it was, cloning him, then it's like it comes in and deals 2 damage and I get 2 life. So it's damaging directly to another player, and then I'm getting 2 life, or at least 1 life if I only have 1 copy. Belligerent Sliver gives Sliver creatures I control, or yeah, Sliver creatures you control have menace, basically. Can't be blocked by 2 or more creatures. I think after this came out, this effect, this creature can't be blocked by 2 or more creatures, became menace. So it gives them menace. Harmonic Sliver. All slivers have, when this creature comes into play, or basically enters, destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is great as long as I can sack him. Because if I start to just wipe my opponent's boards and just every artifact, every enchantment they have out, it's like, if I don't get rid of him, then I have to, it's not a May effect. It says this creature comes into play, destroy target. It's like, if I don't have a way to sack him, or if I can't block and just get rid of him when I need to after I destroyed my opponent's stuff, this can come back to bite me. This is one of my, well, in the deck, it's one of my least favorite to play. But when I need it, it's great. But when I'm done with it, I need to get rid of it. Otherwise, it's going to really, really hurt me. Mana Weft Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have tapped added. So this is almost like the other one, but this is only creatures I control can tap and basically be mana dorks. It's great, again, for the mana fixing, because having a 5-color deck, it's really hard. It's really tough to kind of get the mana curve corrected in here to at least work efficiently. This is another one that I can use if I don't have the mirror box available. So this came in Commander Masters, Commander Masters Sliver deck. I pre-ordered this as soon as I heard it was slivers. I did not want the price to go up, and I'm really thankful I got it at the pre-sale or pre-ordering price that I did, because I say a month, maybe 2 months after they announced the pre-order, it skyrocketed to like 100, 110. I don't know what it would be at now, at least the full deck, not the card itself. The full deck is a lot more expensive, and the slivers are nasty, and that's where I kind of, this artwork came from, because I think one of the other ones I have, I don't know if it's Mana Weft or not, but I switched out some of the artwork that I had duplicates from, that maybe they were more humanoid. I like the whole sliver creature look. It just looks nasty. But this one, it's Wooburg for 6/6. The legend rule does not apply to slivers you control. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value. Encore 5. So it's like, I like this because I'm able to clone slivers. I don't mind the Encore effect, but it's not one that you use in here. So it's Encore 5 for this one at least. Exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate this only as a sorcery. So if I have if I've gotten board wiped a few times and I don't have a way to bring back slivers from my graveyard, this is really good to get just multiple copies of it, attack all my opponents, because it says for each opponent, create a token copy that attacks. So highly doubtful that I'll be putting the first sliver in the graveyard. Most likely I'll just be putting them back into the command zone, if not putting them back to my hand. But for all the other slivers I have in this deck, to pay their encore, so the encore for Mana Weft, for example, would be 2. There's 1 in a green, but it says the graveyard encore X, where X is its mana value. So its mana value is 2, technically. So I can pay 2 And I would probably wouldn't do it, honestly, on the mana weft, but just for an example's sake, I have Sliver Grave Mother here, and mana weft's in the graveyard. Pay its 2 Encore. If I have 3 more opponents or more, if I'm playing one of those huge big games, then I get however many opponents I have copies of mana weft Sliver, or any other Sliver I decide to do that with the Encore effect. So to me, it was cool to get this one, but not, oh my god, like super OP. But it's nice to have, like in a pinch, to be able to do that with Slivers in my graveyard. Predatory Sliver gives creatures or Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. Beefs up itself. Other Slivers, really simple, low cost. It's great, especially if I happen to copy him. It gets however many copies I get. See, I get 3, 4. If I get 3, it's +3/+3. If I get 4, yada yada yada. You get it. Quick Sliver. Flash. Any player may cast Sliver spells as though they had Flash. So this is another all effect. It doesn't necessarily like hurt me, but I mean, how many other players am I going to be playing with Sliver effects? I mean, the one guy that I know of so far in my play group, but I don't really play too many people that have Slivers. Usually you say Slivers and people are like, ugh, and they cringe. There's the other one. I thought it was Crystalline Sliver. All Slivers have Shroud. They can't be targets of spells or abilities. That's definitely helps. Definitely helps. But yeah, just to show like the shuffling on these, just so smooth. So smooth. Yeah, it's great. But they're really strong. Again, all my decks are double sleeved. Inner sleeves are KMC perfect fit. I think the first Arixnothes, I think it was just the Ultra Pro Eclipse sleeves. Again, these are from Realm Guard, as they're known now. And the ones that have the kind of like this white grayish border they're like tougher sleeves. They have regular sleeves that are textured and regular. They're just not advertised as their stronger sleeves, but I do have a lot of product from Realm Guard. Sorry, I'm getting used to their new name. They recently changed, but the artwork that they have is it's amazing. I really like it. Some of the sleeves that I have are just the color identity sleeves. Other ones I have are artwork. I don't know what deck I'm going to do next. I know I wanted to do Arixnothes because it was my first one that I made, and because I was a target, and basically I got bullied a little bit, and awakened the beast inside me. I made the first Sliver Commander deck. Again, check out Tabletop Lux. I will try to put all the info in the description below. Again, with the Mox field as well, so you can see what cards I have. Make it your own if you guys like it. Whether it's the first Sliver, it's any of my other decks. Take a look, see what I have, and watch my videos, and yeah, just I don't know. Play Magic the way you want to play. Be happy with the way that you want to play. This is a nasty deck. Yes, I know. As soon as I say Slivers, I know I have a target on my back. But this is one of, at least out of all the decks that I have, it's one of my most, more competitive ones. Anyways, I will see you guys on the next one. Psycho Juggernaut out. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.